We all hate office politics. The maneuvering to get a simple task done, dealing with a boss or colleague who steals credit, watching others get ahead because people like them more, and just so many more annoying things. But the thing that all of us need to understand is that politics is part of the job. You might not like it, but there's no getting rid of it. And to be honest, it's a great tool for growth if you learn how to use it correctly. Office politics comes in many forms. Maybe your manager uses past results to make sure more work gets moved towards your team. Maybe you have a colleague who makes sure the successes are noted so that they get more interesting work. Maybe you go out of your way to network with leaders to increase visibility and boost growth. My personal favorite is knowing your audience and using the knowledge to stay ahead of the curve. All of these are examples of what I call good politics. But there's also the other kind. The kind that not just me, but I'm sure everybody hates. Colleagues that steal credit for more important work so that they stay relevant. People who talk shit about others in close circles to make sure they don't get ahead. Managers who put others down and guarantee that people don't get promoted just out of spite. Playing the blame game to make sure you never appear to be at fault. And in my opinion, the absolute worst kind, where you suck up to leaders and people in positions of authority just to stay in their good books. Basically, people who just nod along to everything their boss says and stroke their ego. The truth is that both kinds are unavoidable, and the sooner you accept it, the better. Now, it took me a few years to wrap my head around it, so don't worry if it frustrates you. You'll learn how to work around it over time. Especially when you reach a leadership position, you realize that politics is not just part of the job, but a really useful tool. There's a few examples of politics I want to talk about because this is where I see most people get stuck. First, learning how to use your work as a way to get more interesting work, and not just waiting for your boss to see your worth. Second, dealing with a colleague or boss who takes credit for all your work. Third, how to network your way into more senior roles and more meaningful work. And finally, how to understand your audience and how to use that to your advantage. I want to be clear, this is just a small subset of office politics, and maybe I'll make more videos covering the rest, but these are the ones I see the most and the ones I see people struggling with the most. Most of us are trained in the mentality that good work will be rewarded. It's a very positive way to think about work, but the truth is, good work is only rewarded if your work is being seen by the right people. I think a big part of why we think this way is the way we are schooled. From an early age, we get used to the idea of inherently being rewarded with points or marks by our teachers. We've never had to fight for rewards. A good performance always resulted in a positive reward without needing to ask for it. The way this translates in the workplace is interesting. We do good work and then just wait for the reward. And when the reward doesn't arrive, it confuses us. We wonder if maybe the work wasn't good enough, which leads to frustration and eventually just a lack of interest. What makes it worse is that bad work is usually followed by punishment. So we end up just doing the bare minimum work to not get punished because going beyond has no point. Here's the catch. All you need to do is make sure your work is visible. One way to do that is to document your work, either as a demo to a client or maybe a presentation to your boss. Record your work in a way that showcases what problem it solves or what goal it achieves. Don't talk about how efficient your work is, but talk about how that moves the business forward. That way, not only are you presenting yourself as a good worker, you're also convincing people around you that your work is valuable. And people who do valuable work are always given more important problems to solve. In my first job, I worked as an Android engineer. I would finish my work based on the tickets I was given, but after finishing them, I would demo my work to my manager and make a case of how what I delivered helped with user engagement and how it could be used to boost other parts of the product. I convinced my manager that my work was valuable and that I was interested in adding more value to the product by thinking beyond just the tech side of things. It didn't matter if I was right all the time. I positioned myself as a valuable employee, and that meant I got more interesting projects to work on. Now I know that isn't a very direct way of highlighting value, but that's my point. There's so many ways of doing it. The only thing that's required of you is that you don't just stop at finishing your task. Think about how it affects your product and find ways to showcase those in your work. And if not with the output of your work, you can also do that in the planning phase. Ask questions, challenge assumptions, provide suggestions. All of that makes you appear as somebody who cares and which will make leadership take note of you. Now, credit stealing is a frustrating problem to deal with because it's usually your boss who does it. Yes, sometimes you have colleagues who do it, but more often than not, it's your manager. It's frustrating because you expect your boss to help you move up, not use you as a way to justify their position. It's like a teacher in school who claims to have done your homework for you. It doesn't make any sense for someone in a senior position to claim your work as theirs. The truth is, anyone who has to resort to this doesn't have anything to show for themselves. They need to use your work to justify their existence. And once you understand that, the situation becomes a little easier to accept. It's also frustrating because working around this problem means doing more work than you normally would. Start by documenting everything. And I mean everything. Every conversation should be on a Slack thread or in MOMs after meetings. Every decision should be commented on a Jira ticket or a conference talk. Make sure when you decide things, you involve some of your teammates in those conversations, so they're aware that you were the one who came up with it. And make sure to share credit where you can. This is really important. When you share credit with others, it makes it incredibly hard for your manager to claim work as their own. Because why would you lie about your work when you are willing to share credit for it? If your organization has review processes in place, make sure you document all your work in these calls or portals regularly, so it's hard for someone to claim that you just added a bunch of them last minute. It can be really annoying to have to do all this extra work, but trust me, not doing it really hurts your chances for promotions in the long run. I've seen so many engineers disappear into the system because they didn't want to play this game. But the only way to beat someone who plays dirty is to play the game cleanly and so well that nobody can dispute your accomplishments. I think we've all been told how important networking is, but most people stop at networking when they land the job they want. What you need to understand is that networking is equally, if not more important, even after you join the organization. Talk to your team, talk to other teams, talk to leaders and management. All of these are important if you want to stay relevant in your organization. The first thing you want to focus on is talk to your teammates. Promote a friendly environment and make sure people enjoy talking to you. This will do two things. Your team will come to respect you and provide positive reviews to anyone who asks. And more importantly, they will be more likely to come to you for help when they need it. This will help you position as a voice of authority in the team, and trust me, your manager will take note. Wherever I work, I love joking around with my team. I find that a light mood at the workplace helps people feel more confident in their work. And because I was always friendly, it makes me one of the more approachable members of the team. My managers have always noted how my team usually comes to me for help or for brainstorming, and that helps me build authority as a decision maker for the team. Next, you want to network with your manager. Keep it simple. Just do regular catch-ups with them where you can discuss your work and their expectations of you. These calls help you find ways to improve while also showcasing your commitment to your manager. Networking with your manager doesn't have to be about sucking up to them or saying yes to their ideas. It's just about being in regular communication. That way they come to understand your thinking and they will respect your decisions. This respect is the difference between them accepting when you push back on things versus them being offended when you provide feedback. And finally, talk to your management and leadership regularly. I like scheduling calls with relevant leaders to try and understand their vision for the team and to give them feedback about my manager if needed. These shouldn't be too regular because it's excessive, but maybe once a quarter is enough. Also, these don't have to be one-on-ones. You can also pitch the idea of doing a full team call with leaders. In this case, networking is being the one who starts the initiative, which is plenty. I should also add that if you aren't senior enough in the organization, it can be weird to set up these calls, in which case this is completely optional. Networking is all about making people aware of your existence and making sure that you use your work and opinions as a way to make them think positively of you. You don't need to lie or agree with your leaders on everything. Being honest about feedback and ideas is the best way of doing this. The most important thing is to keep at it and not stopping networking after you join the team. Now, for my favorite, knowing your audience. Every job I've had, I've spent early months just observing and identifying who the key decision makers are, and which leaders would be more open to give me a chance despite my age or title. I would then use that knowledge to position myself as a key target for important work, which not only helped me grow faster, but it organically made me a target for promotion and key decisions. This networking would also help my opinions have some weight, and it made maneuvering so much easier. Another way you can do this is by identifying the goals for your leads and managers. In my recent job, when I joined, I knew the organization was looking for a lead. Even though I hadn't applied or been selected for that role, I made sure to take my time to understand what kind of a lead they were looking for. Once I understood that, I made sure various aspects of my work fit into the goals they wanted the lead to achieve. I asked to take over responsibilities that a lead would normally do, and I eventually came to a point where I was basically working as the lead. Then all I had to do was pitch to the organization that I could fill that role. And because they were already so used to me doing the work, it was really easy to convince them. That's honestly all there is to it. All you need to do is observe and talk to people. It's really that simple. And its simplicity is why it's my favorite. All it takes is a little effort, but the results are so worth it. Office politics doesn't have to be bad. You can choose to be a productive participant if you want. Politics is just a tool, and if you use it correctly, you can grow really quick. But just remember to not lean into the bad kind, because you'll quickly find that people grow tired of you. I'll see you next time.